Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing 3 layouts, hopefully, 3, might be 4, to my 6x8 story albums. If you are familiar with my channel, this is a series that I've been doing now almost for a year, I think, because I've filled up like 2 albums already. It's been like a year, and I do the 3 like 6x8 layouts in my family album because it seems to be what I've learned so far this year. It's a good size for me to work in. B, it's easy to get the stories told because of that easy size, so I'm able to complete more. And C, the products and the size that most companies make are geared for this size of documenting. Now, don't get me wrong, like some of the cards you can use in your 12 by 12 pocket page, project life. But I find that once it's a configuration of 4 by 6 or 3 by 4, I pretty much have, the ability to use, like any manufacturer stuff that I want to. So in this situation though, I'm trying to think about all of them real quick. We're not actually using any pocket pages. So this one's going to be fairly simple. It's a picture from the summer. But I'm using this gorgeous, prompted, it just says just this from Ali Edwards. So this one is fairly simple. We're going to garnish, embellish the photo, but this is going to be one of the layouts. Then I'm going to use the whole story kit, and I've pulled out these pieces. So it's going to be a 2-page spread, and it's an older photo of Valentina and Zoe. Zoe is no longer with me. She is my doxie that I lost after 15 years. And so it's going to be like a 2-page spread, and we're using elements from the whole story kit. This was a downloadable digital, and I think I'm going to be like scrap lifting Ali Edwards herself. She had like almost like an insert of the half circles, and it does fit kind of perfectly. Imagine holes here and here whenever I cut it. And so it's going to be in the bottom 3 holes, and then you'll open up these parts. And so the journaling will be here and there, and I might do some stamping, but in general, that's what that one's going to look like. And then I have these too, because I feel like I want, to use something else, but we'll see. So that one is layout number 2, so the whole story kit. And then layout number 3 is a spread for my One Little Word journal. So One Little Word is a project that I partake in. It's also hosted by Ali Edwards. And every month I just do these little spreads as a reflection. So we're going to put together August. So in case you have this is how I'm going to show you how I do it. So this one will come together quickly. And then the prompt was beginning again. And she provided, where'd it go? A digital. So we're going to cut out the digital, which are these circles. So beginning again with your word feels like, sounds like, tastes like, smells like, looks like. But I'm going to be using Traci Reed's new collection called Equinox for I'm going to punch these out. These are an inch and a half. And so I have my punches out. So inch and a half. And then with the 2-inch punch, cut out some of these pattern papers from the collection and embellish it. And then do my journaling about my word is balance for the year. And show what those prompts say, and put that one together. So what I'm going to do to jazz this one up also is use this this bundle of trim. These are from Michael's. I picked up this fall one, and the colors go great with this collection from Michael's during Labor Day, and it was like 50% off, so it was $5. And so I kind of want to show how to use like extra texture to create a grid. So I'm going to choose like 2 or 3 of these gorgeous ribbons, and then the circles will be housed kind of like a tic-tac-toe kind of thing is what I'm thinking, so that I can show some more texture use with the printable collection. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So let's get started. Let's start with this one. That was just left here. Let's get started with this. So this is like the template. I just kind of always reimagine like where I can adhere it and go from there. And then obviously my journaling, so it stays like the same width, is always where I'm at. So yeah. All right, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. I'm really excited that I was able to use these month cards that were included in Ali Edwards Stories by the Month. They are a maybe like 4x8 size, possibly 3x8. I could be wrong on my measurements, but I have used every single one in my one little word project. It was a good use for them for me because in my memory keeping and story album, I really don't scrapbook like chronologically all the time, so I found it hard in the beginning of the year to say like what was I going to do with them. But since I was doing this project of one little word, it has been a great spot for me to have a reflections page on where my word showed up or where it didn't at the end of the month each month. So that's how I utilize them, and I'm excited that I did. So then for the opposite side, I am using the Equinox collection from Traci Reed. It was released in September, so I will have it linked down below. And the colors are, it's a very fall themed collection, so you have those rich browns and oranges like cinnamon colors, some beiges, and like a mustardy gold yellow color. And so this trim pack from Michaels, I have purchased it probably for every season now, and I have enough trim to last me a lifetime. But I still buy them because they're so cute, and I always have high thoughts on where I could use trim. But this is a really great way. I created in essence a grid with it. I chose in essence like 8 different trim / ribbons from it and used a different one for each strip and created just great fun texture. Most of it did sit down with double-sided tape, but for some of the ones that were a little bit more delicate, I did use some liquid glue. And then for the rest of it, the digital printout Ali Edwards did provide in the one little word class, so that's where you have the smaller circles. And then I just did a size bigger for the printables. That way there was a pattern paper behind it that just adds some texture and interest. It was a great way to use the collection and kind of show off all the pattern papers in the kit. And then the little circles themselves, the whole prompt for August was beginning again with your word. So sometimes it's a struggle at this point in the year to see your word and where it is. So we were supposed to just kind of see like where do we see it, smell it, taste it kind of thing. And so that's what I did as a reflection. My word has been balance in case you are new to my channel. And my balance has been, it's been the ebb and flow of it, as we say. It shows up great some months, and then other months it's a struggle. But that's how the word journey goes. For my next layout, I'm simply just using this decorative prompted page from Ali Edwards. Once again, I do believe this came in a Stories by the Month kit. I really love these story prompted pages that she provides. That way it makes doing a layout really simple, because on the opposite side you could have just done a pocket page with 2 4x6s or 3 or 4 3x4s, and with that one page on the opposite side, and really have a layout complete. So I do love using those. For this one that you see me working on, I am trying to do a double page photo spread. There is a video on my channel on how I accomplish this just with an app on my phone. The picture is originally horizontal, but I just kind of crop it to be an 8x10 on one side and an 8x10 on the other, still in a vertical orientation, and I print it at home. You could send it to print though at Walgreens or Persnickety, whichever you prefer. But it's doable, and I made it black and white, and it's a little altered because you can see that the couch part, the pillow on the top, doesn't quite match up, because I think I wanted to zoom in on the left side with Zoe a little bit more, is the only reason why I altered that, but I was totally okay. So for this one, I am using the whole story kit from Ali Edwards. This one is a kit, I want to say from last year. This is one of the older ones, and I am slowly crushing them through this process, because as you know, like sometimes, like for me too, I am subscribed to the Story Kit and Stories by the Month, and sometimes you don't get all those stories told. Plus, I don't actually like to kill like one kit in 1 month, because there may be a story that comes, a year from now that the whole Story Kit could be perfect for. So I like telling stories as I see them come through, or what's weighing on my heart. And so for this one, to use the whole story kit, I went back and just found this oh so sweet photo of Zoe is my late dachshund. I have lost her already. She has passed away, and she passed away. She was 15 years old, and it's hard. She was my first dog, 15 years. She was a witness to my life because we were in graduate school together when I got her. She's moved with me countless times. She saw me as a young professional. She saw me pregnant with Valentina, and I'm so glad that she was friends with Valentina as well for those short few years. So the whole point right now is that I'm on this side of it using the whole story kit, the half circles, and using them as almost like a little page insert. And I'm texting with the Max Alpha stamp from Carrie Bradford, and I'm using colors that are in that kit. So the colors that I chose were in that like kind of pie, that pie shaped embellishment from the U kit, and these are the colors that matched it. And so I'm stamping out "We Miss You," and on the opposite side it's 1, 2, 3, which are the colors also that was a digital from the whole story kit classroom. And going through just things that I miss about having Zoe not around, mostly the snuggling, and almost writing to her to let her know that like Valentina still like remembers her. Ugh, sometimes it's hard to talk about your dogs that we lost, right? Like that Valentina still remembers, you know, she always read to her in that rocking chair. She always wanted to pick up, you know, Zoe, and Zoe was such a snuggler. Like we could be on the couch and she can have her, you know, milk bottle, and Zoe was just always getting like body heat, and it was great. And so she remembers that. So it warms my heart that my daughter, now of 5 years old, remembers, or has at least, I would hope, core memories of Zoe around. So that's what I stamped out "We Miss You." I did my journaling, and then it's like a little insert between both of these pages, and it turned out really, really well. So these projects, I believe, are already on my Instagram page. So usually my Instagram is way better at posting current projects, and I'm always a little behind on my filming and editing part. But here I am just adding all of my journaling on clear sticker paper. I also have this linked usually down below. It's on Amazon. The brand is MACO is the one I've changed to, simply because you get way more sheets for the price, and it actually really is really good. And it works best in, what do I use? My laser jet printer. I do have an inkjet printer too, and it does do that, but it needs dry time, you know, because it sits on it on the top. But if you have a laser printer, it definitely works out better. I went back for this one simply to add a little bit more embellishment, because if I just had the photo and that paper, I felt it looked a little bit, you know, too simple. So these are flowers on the bottom, are from older Maggie Holmes collections that I just have always like in a bin on my desk, for adding little things like this. And then the big green flower, I do believe, is a Vicky Bouton collection, but actually it might be Paige Evans. See, once I have like the little one-offs of the collections, I sometimes forget the manufacturer, but usually I know that the bottom ones are Maggie Holmes. That top one actually might be Paige Evans and not a Vicky Bouton. And then I add, since I cut it right there, I add it to the opposite page to have them unite. That's always a good little trick right there. So these layouts will complete, I think, my story album as well. So I know I will talk about it in the outro, but a flip through of this completed volume 2 will be coming to my channel very shortly, now that I've finished these layouts out and made it extra chunky. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, these layouts are done. Oh, so cute. A little bit of everything with this collection, or, you know, these layouts. Like I have a little double page, I have a little texture, I have a simple one. So you definitely got some inspiration here. So this one, and they're all, I didn't put them in my album yet just because I think they're going to be in different albums. Yeah, so I didn't want to like have 3 albums to show you. In essence, this one's going to sit, I believe I'm going to put this one though in my baby story album whenever I start that one, simply because I think it's like a sweet story that I want to keep in that album to reflect on how they were when they were kids. So yeah, for this story, I will keep it in our family album. So it's just about, you know, how I miss my Zoe and how Valentina remembers her. So this will be on the rings. It will open up to show that stamping, and then my journaling with the gray ink pen, and then that pattern on the back. And I just used both halves on that one. So that's layout number 1. This one's going in my One Little Word album. All this texture from that ribbon, from that the ribbon pack from Michael's, so good. And then all the circles make it a very easy grid layout. So this one is going in One Little Word. What? Yep, I'm coming. And then lastly, this one also will go in my family album. Simple with this page, but I did the embellishment so that it ties it all together and you have that visual triangle. Love telling this summer story. I think I've documented it in my, I did it in my project life with like kind of the story, but it's like a recap and it's just oh so beautiful. So with these layouts, I do believe it fills up my family album number 2. So I will be doing a flip through soon enough for that one. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And thank you as always for spending a little bit of time with me, telling stories and printing photos. Printing photos, telling stories. Love it, love it, love it. Till next time, everyone. Bye.